50, 45, there goes Davis. Oh my God! Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow! Oh my God! Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in everyone to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 611. Today is Sunday, January the 4th, 2026. Kid, I've already said 2025 a few times already.
Yeah.
But first time I've talked to you on the show all year. How you doing? How was your New Year's? Any resolutions? Talk to me. How we doing?
I'm doing good. Glad to be back on the show. First of all, I miss the people. It's been a couple of days.
Got some things to get off your chest?
What?
Got some things to get off your chest?
Your boy's been working. So for New Year's, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I was in bed by 10:30. I didn't even see the ball drop.
You missed the ball.
I could care less. I needed that sleep. I wanted that sleep. So the sleep was good. Looking like the Patriots are gonna end up with the number 2 seed, so that's good. And New Year's resolution, same me. I don't really have no New Year's resolution. Never really believed in it, but
maybe
just always try to be a better person.
Fixed.
No, the car's honestly.
I haven't talked to you in about like 3 weeks, so I'm trying to say, how's the car?
How's the car? More parts just came in. I just got the knock sensor. Needed the knock sensor. So knock sensor was holding a couple things back. After you put the knock sensor on, could wire up the car. Finish wiring up the car.
You know what my resolution is?
Stop betting the Jets.
No, I haven't bet them in a month and a half, almost 2 months now. Win more. Win.
Nice. You can win in anything. It only has to be betting.
Exactly. Win in life. I'm just trying to win in life. So win more. I'm trying to curse less. I curse like a I curse like a sailor. So I'm trying to curse a little less. Maybe learn Spanish. I mean, as you know, and our friends, I am 27% Spanish and 13% Puerto Rican. So I got 40% of my whole blood Hispanic and Puerto Rican, and I don't know. I'll say I know.
No, you don't know
1%. 1%.
All right,
I know
hi,
bye. I know hi, bye. Can I go to the bathroom? I know obviously some curse words, but I want to be able, like, if you drop me in the middle of Spain, I want to be able to be like, I could survive. I could ask for food. I could
like Christian. Christian is. I'm not gonna say he's fluent, but he talks better Spanish. Well, at least he knows more Spanish than a lot of Spanish people.
Exactly. So yeah, I want maybe Duolingo. Maybe I'll get a subscription for Duolingo. I want to be, I don't want to say fluent because that's hard in a year. I was talking to one of my friends. I said I'm trying to learn Spanish. They said watch novellas. Is that what it's called? Novellas?
Yeah. It's like it's basically like a Spanish show, soap operas.
He goes, watch that for a month. You'll learn.
Yeah, not for nothing. Me will help me with my Spanish because believe it or not, people, my Spanish was good now. I'm gonna say is average now, but it was me working with a bunch of Spanish people, so that just helped my Spanish.
It also doesn't help that I'm not surrounded by a lot of Spanish people.
Well, you kind of are. You just not like interacting with them in Spanish.
In Spanish, that's it. You know what I need to think? I'll say it in English. And then I need you to reply to me in Spanish. Eventually, I'm going to pick up some words.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm the guy for that. But because I could understand it more than I could honestly speak it.
You took Spanish in class, in school growing up?
Yeah. Honestly, I think just junior year I had Spanish. I got like a B. Okay. Shocking.
Nice. Shocking.
Yeah. Because honestly, at that time, my Spanish was trash. So honestly,
let's go. Hey, I just didn't want to get shut out. The lock was the Patriots minus 10.5, and I'm just shocked at the Jets still haven't gotten a turnover at this point. But okay, we got a great episode. We're gonna recap the final week of week 18. We'll talk about the playoff seedings, everything. We got FCS championship between Illinois State and Montana State tomorrow night I think it's in Nashville, Tennessee. So that should be very good. At least we got some football on. And then we got an 8-game slate in the association. We'll talk about that a little later on in the show. But, kid, we'll start. And there were some 2 really good games. I don't know if you caught any, maybe on the road. But first game, Tampa Bay 16, Panthers 14. Panthers get the 3. Depending on what number you got, they did cover the 3, which I was able to get.
Even cover the 2.5.
Exactly, 2.5 as well. Tampa Bay is not in. We'll talk about the Saints in a little bit, but I thought for the first time in a while, I thought Baker played good. Outside of that one interception in the downpour, 16 for 22, 200 yards. I thought they ran the ball really well. I think that's what's going to hurt Carolina in the playoffs. They're not going to be able to run the ball. Terron McMillan, 4 catches, 85 yards. It was nice to see Cade Otton have a pretty good game, 94 yards, and he had that touchdown early in the first drive. But yeah, Carolina, even with the loss, kid, winds up winning the division. Thoughts on the game?
Yeah, to me, that's the most brutal fact about it. The fact that they were able to lose this game, but somehow still win the division. Shout out the Bucks, but in reality, I think they didn't deserve to win the division. I'd rather see Atlanta won the division, honestly. A lot of Bucks fans might be salty, might be like, oh, we beat the Panthers, we should have won the division. But in reality, I think you lost the division weeks ago. You haven't been playing well. You lost 4 straight games, I think, in the beginning of this month to end of November. You was dealing with a bunch of injuries, and I'm gonna be honest, ever since that halftime heave from Baker Mayfield, he hasn't been the same. So give credit for the Bucks win, but I think the Panthers, don't get me wrong, at this moment you could say, but I think the Panthers at least deserve to be the playoffs. I don't know if they at least deserve to host a fucking playoff game, but I think that they were the better team. I think to close the season, the Panthers were the better team against versus the Buccaneers. It's just, the Bucks was able to win the game, give them credit. Now it's going to be interesting because as of right now with the seedings, it might be the Rams going to Carolina. We just saw that matchup less than a month ago. We saw what happened when the Carolina Panthers was a 9.5-point dog. They won outright. So to me, that's going to be an interesting matchup. But overall, Bryce Young played pretty well. The running game was non-existent. Shut out Rico Dowd. He only needed 7 rushing yards for his incentives, so he was able to get it. Great game by Terron McMillan. Not for none. Great season by Terron McMillan. I know there was a lot of questions on, why he got drafted so high. To me, he lived up. So great pick for the Panthers. And like I said, shout out the Bucks for the win. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, they blew the division weeks ago.
Yeah, 3-9 to finish off the year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mm-hmm. So even with the win, I still didn't think they deserved it. It was just crazy how it ended. 3-way tie, all 8-9 to finish the year.
To me, fuck it. Give it to Atlanta. I think Kirk Cousins, not for none. Like I said, I like Bryce Young. I think me and you.
He's Dave Canales has definitely made him a better quarterback.
Yeah. We definitely saw the jump from, years 1 and 2 to 3. So, shout out Bryce Young. But do I think the Falcons and Rams could have been a better matchup for the eye's sake? I think so. Well, we'll see.
No, I would agree. We'll see. Yeah, that's why they played the game. So, I'm glad. I was rooting for Carolina, if I'm being honest. That was my dog of the week. Honestly, the refs were fucking them. A couple of the PI calls that Terron McMillan had on him, awful. Roughing the passer, they didn't call on anything. Yeah, they were in Tampa, so they were getting the calls, but we do cover. And, Panthers do make the playoffs, so we'll see how they wind up doing. Terron McMillan, though, minus 1,200 to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Jackson Dart is plus 850. Tyler Shuck.
He only played like 6-7 games. Tyler Shuck to me should have had better odds. Wait, he does have better odds, Tyler Shuck?
No, he's 20-1 with the loss today.
That to me, that's absurd. Don't get me wrong. I think Jackson Dart might have more like highlight reel plays,
Of
but
course, yeah.
Tyler Shuck, I'm gonna
He's
be
more
honest,
valuable.
I think depending, it's looking like I think the Saints gonna have like the fourth pick, fifth pick, right, something like that. No, I'm lying. They're gonna have outside of a top 10.
Who?
Excuse me, the Saints.
Who?
No, the
yeah,
Saints.
right now the New Orleans Saints
Because they
have
got
the
like six.
pick.
Yeah, they have like 6 wins. I'm not gonna say I'm content with Tyler Shuck, but I'm not eager, to draft a quarterback next year. I like what I saw down the stretch from Tyler Shuck. Not for nothing. You get him, a decent running back, get him another weapon, put us alongside Chris Olave. Hey, with Kellen Moore, he might have something with Tyler Shuck. So if I'm a Saints fan, I'm not all too eager to draft a quarterback in 2026 draft.
I'm watching the Broncos and Charger game. The rushing yards for Trey Lance should have been my lock. Wow. I mean,
I ain't gonna hold you. Shout out Trey Lance. He was just slinging it. He has a lot of incompletions, but they were all down the field. So shut out.
Yeah. and get back to Tyler Shuck real quick. He throws a very catchable ball. It looks good coming out of him. So, I'm content with Tyler Shuck. And I think another year with Kellen Moore, he's going to get that much better. People are like, oh, there's not a big difference between him and Spencer Rattler.
What?
I would disagree highly. And I'm a Spencer Rattler fan. I stood up for him multiple times, but Tyler Shuck is extremely better than him.
Yeah, I think Tyler Shuck. Looking at Terry McLaurin, Terry McMillan definitely deserves to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, but Tyler Shuck definitely deserves to be second place ahead of Jackson Dart, and I'll stand on that.
And then the second game, it was a defensive game, but man, this defense showed why they are the best defense in the league. Houston let up a lot of points today.
And
Seattle they were flying and they were hitting. Sam Darnold, great game, 20 for 26, did not turn the ball over, only 2 sacks. And they made Brock Purdy look like not a good quarterback. Christian McCaffrey couldn't do anything. Offensively, Kyle Shanahan had no answers for Mike McDonald and that defense. Shout out them. They ran the ball well. Clint Kubiak had a great game plan. They ran the ball well. JSN is the best receiver in the league, and they only need 2 wins to get to the Super Bowl. They get the first seed, and they get a bye. I'm extremely happy with the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, so real quick, I want to ask you a question because you always do it to me. Can you name me the quarterbacks who have won back-to-back 14 games in the season, back-to-back seasons with 14-plus wins?
Well,
to give you a hint, it's only 2.
Yeah, so obviously the first one has to be Sam Darnold. Last year with the Vikings, and this year with the Seattle Seahawks.
He's not first.
No, I'm just saying he's one of them. If you're asking me, this probably has to be Tom Brady, right?
Tom Brady and now Sammy D.
What year? Do you know? Has to be early 2000s.
No, I think it was like
look it up.
2012, 2013, something like that.
Look it
20. I think it's the year.
Tom Brady, 2003, 2004.
Wow, was it 2003,
yeah.
2004? Wow, early. Yeah. Was Sammy D? I understand people. He wasn't impressive. But what was the most impressive part to me? It's not like they won this game in spite of Sammy D. Like if for example, if he would have threw multiple interceptions and they still would have won this game, people would have still had question marks of Sammy D. And maybe some of those question marks are still up in the air. But 20 for 26, a hair shy under 200 yards. Honestly, he didn't get no touchdowns, but 0 turnovers. Only got sacked 2 times. Had a rating of 90, basically 98. Still, I think Sammy D has answered the call. Like I said, back-to-back seasons with 14-plus wins. Now he has the number 1 seed. He has the first-round bye. I understand he has a pretty good running game. I understand he might have the best defense in football. If you in fantasy, that's the number 1 fantasy defense in football. Jackson Smith and Jigba led the NFL in receiving. I understand he got a couple weapons there, but I gotta give Sammy D a ton of credit, not just for yesterday's win, but for their season. To me, I understand he's
Mhm.
not going to be in consideration, but I think Sammy D had an MVP caliber season, so I just wanted to get that off the chest. Another great game by this running back room, 180 yards total. Kenneth Walker with the yards, Zach Chardonnay with the touchdowns. I said it in the preseason, take Walker over, take Chardonnay over touchdowns. Jackson Smith Jigba didn't have a monstrous game deal, but 84 plus yards, doing a lot of damage. Like you said, that defense was flying. The biggest surprise to me was, especially how great offensive they were playing as of late. I think they had 3 straight games with 30 plus points. How bad the offense looked. I understand the Seattle's defense is top notch, no doubt about it. But at home, for the number 1 seed, you get a bye week, and you just didn't show up offensively. Defensively,
They kept them in
played
the game.
Yeah, Robert Saleh did his part.
Yeah.
Defensive did their part. Kyle Shanahan, this is on you. You know how some people say Matthew Stafford, fumbled the MVP last week? Kyle Shanahan, you just fumbled the coach of the year. Because if your offense was just able to put up 2 touchdowns, you win this game. So I think this solely falls on Kyle Shanahan. Yeah, you got to give some fault on Brock Purdy. He could have played a little better. But the fact that you had 12 rushing attempts for 53 yards total, that's solely on Kyle Shanahan. We all know he could run the ball. We all know he could run some schemes still. So it was shocking that they only had 12 attempts for 53 yards. That was surprising. Offensively, Brock Purdy 19 for 27, 127 with the pick, a couple sacks. He wasn't good. He looked like Mr. Irrelevant yesterday. So I still like this 49ers team come playoff time, but I think having to go on the road now, looking like they're I think the 6th seed. Who are they going to match up against? I apologize. Let me check.
No, you're good. 49ers have
They're
the
going to
5th
play
seed.
the Chicago, because I think Chicago's going to lose. Honestly,
Well, right
I
now
don't know.
it's 16-16 right now. Chicago tied it.
Oh, Chicago tied it. Wow. So it's looking like they're either going to play Philadelphia or Chicago, 2 cold environments, which I don't love for the 49ers, but I think the fan base would like their chances.
And San Francisco locked up the 5 seed. Rams are the 6 seed.
No, but if Rams,
even if they win,
even if the Rams win,
yeah,
the Rams win, they get the 5th seed.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Rams will go to Carolina with the win, and then San Francisco will most likely play Philadelphia. I'd rather.
That's right. Yeah.
Regardless, if you're San Francisco, ideally you don't want to travel to the East Coast on the road to play a road playoff game. You rather have that game at home. So I'm kind of shocked how flat the offense came out, and then they didn't seize the opportunity to host, not just get the number 1 seed, but to host a playoff game.
You know who I was really shocked at? Jason Myers, one of the most accurate kickers, missing 2. I mean, it could have been easily been 19. And to be honest, Mike McDaniel, one of the most conservative play callers, goes down the field immediately and then goes for it on 4th down, and they don't get it. So, I mean, yeah, I agree. It was not on the defense. Robert Saleh called a hell of a game plan with all the injuries, and guys were going down left and right during the game as well. So the defense kept them in the game. Kyle Shanahan he had no answer for that defense. And that was actually very concerning. He dropped to like 6th in Coach of the Year because of yesterday. So
my 25-1 ticket gone.
God off of 1 game is crazy. But yeah, so that was Saturday. Let's go to Sunday. We'll start with Houston.
A lot of shit games.
A lot of shit games, but prop of the week gets over. Riley Leonard over 14.5 rushing yards. I mean, the kid played good. I'll hand up. I was wrong during the preview with Joey. I said that he's a downgrade from Phillip Rivers. After that 1 throw, I said, oh, nah, he shut me up. Riley Leonard played ball. 21 for 34, 270. He had the 1 pick, but he was only sacked 1 time. His eyes were always downfield, and he really didn't have a run game. Alec Pierce is a baller. I mean, that kid is hands down, and some of the guys were dropping some. Michael Pittman Jr. dropped a few balls.
Yeah, he dropped a few, yeah.
So I thought he played really good. Honestly, I thought he played better than C.J. Stroud, if I'm being totally honest. And outside of that last touchdown, that fluke touchdown that the defense scored, I don't want to say fluke touchdown, but outside of that touchdown, the offense worries me moving forward into the playoffs with Houston because their defense is good and they're going to keep them in most games. But if CJ Stroud and they're not able to get a run game going, or Dalton Schultz or Jaden Higgins goes off, I worry about this offense moving forward.
Yeah, I agree with you, though. I think we have no doubt of their defense, even though their defense, with majority of the starters, especially in the first half, wasn't all that impressive. We all know what their defense is capable of, and we know this team is led by their defense. The question has been all season long: can CJ Stroud, outgun some of these guys in the AFC? Right now, you gotta look at it from this perspective. We might not be no Lamar, right? No Patrick Mahomes. If you're Houston Texans, you're looking at the AFC is kind of wide open. I think this is one of the most wide opens the AFC's ever been, if you ask me. So I do question the offense a little bit, even though it's hard to question them after scoring 38 points today. But I'm with you. I think Riley Leonard played a hell of a game today. Dale, 21 for 34, making his LFL debut. Saw him throw his first career touchdown ball to his dad on the sideline.
That was a dime too.
Yeah, that was pretty cool to see. So liked everything I saw from him. I understand he had that fumble when he tried to throw it. That didn't look good, but this is a kid making his first NFL start. So
against that defense, he put up 30 points.
He put up 30 points. A lot of quarterbacks that didn't do that now. So former MVP couldn't. So
that's a fact.
Shout out Riley Leonard. I think he gained a couple of fans. I'm not sure. I think he'll be the backup. If I'm the coach, I'm trying to sign or extend Daniel Jones if I can. And then I'll happily keep Riley Leonard after what I saw today as a viable backup.
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, he definitely gained a supporter in me. I think he could ball, especially a backup. Now, obviously, we'll see what they do moving forward with Daniel Jones and whatnot. But, yeah, I thought he played a really good game, and they were in it from the get. 13-win season for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We cashed the division ticket. Liam Cohen, he's not going to win it, but the coach of the year was live all season. He's probably going to finish in the top 3 or 4. He deserves some votes. And Trevor Lawrence, I'm starting to come around on him. Early in the season and in the offseason, I was extremely harsh. And I think
up to week 8, he was harsh.
But it was fair, I thought.
Yeah,
it was fair.
For the money he's getting, like you always said, for the amount of money he's getting paid, he should be doing more, which was a fair point.
Yeah, fair point. But now, holy smokes, this kid, the last 2 months.
You woke up a beast.
Yeah, I did, and I'm glad I did. And Jacksonville fans should thank me because this is the best football he's played, even dating back to winning a national championship in Clemson. 22 for 30. He's not turning the ball over. 3 touchdowns. I know it's obviously the Tennessee Titans, but he's done this for the last 2.5 months to close out the season. 7-2, first year under Liam Cohen. They obviously had an opportunity, but some things needed to break their way to go to get the 1 seed. But it was unfortunate. Cam Ward had to finish, had an injury soldier, so he couldn't finish the game out. But impressive. Obviously, all the credit has to go to Jacksonville. The defense played well. Parker Washington is really good. Brenton Strange, the tight end, he's good too. So this is going to be a very scary team, and they're probably locked up the 3rd seed.
Yeah, definitely locked up the 3rd seed. I'm pretty sure the Patriots just locked up the win. One thing I could honestly say about the season and Trevor Lawrence, as of right now, he's a heavy dog, but I think Trevor Lawrence should be the 3rd favorite to win the MVP, and he is right now on betting sites. He's plus 2,500. To me, he deserves to be a little lower odds than that, if you ask me. I think he proved a lot of doubters wrong, Dill. I think Trevor Lawrence, he just needed a nice coaching system around him. Look, you added some pieces. Parker Washington, he had 87 yards with a tutty. Brenton Strange came along throughout the season. We saw what Brian Thomas Jr. was able to do last season. Kind of quiet this season. And not for nothing, though, I'm pretty sure they went undefeated since acquiring Jacoby Myers. Only lost one game. They lost 1 game since acquiring Jacoby Myers. So I think we're seeing Trevor Lawrence evolve in front of our eyes because of Cohen, but also the additions on the outside, and it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know if Travis Hunter is going to be playing come playoff time, but that could possibly be another weapon added to this offense. So impressive season for the Jacksonville Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence. Give him a lot of credit.
Yeah. Thoughts on Cam Ward's first season? I thought it started bad, but he actually made some better throws, and I thought he got better throughout the season. Now, obviously, they need to go out and get him some help, but for what he had, I didn't think he played terrible.
From right now, I'm not checking no stats. I'm just going by what I saw on the field. From my eye test, it was an above average for an NFL rookie. Now, if you compare him to other former first overall picks, you could say he maybe didn't live up to those expectations. But in reality, the Tennessee Titans were the worst team in football for the majority of the year. We knew coming in they were one of the worst teams in football. And to be honest, I think, like you said, he started off slow, and then he slowly picked it up. We see the potential there, so I'm not gonna say he's a bust, nothing like that. But definitely some more. I think he still needs to prove a little bit more, but if I'm Tennessee, I like what we got with the first overall pick thus far.
Yeah, no, I agree. By the way, I forgot to mention Colts owner Carly Irsay, daughter of Jim Irsay, legend. She spoke to the media after the game, and they are bringing back general manager Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen. He will return.
Yeah, I'll be honest. When they had a healthy quarterback, they were arguably one of the best teams in football. They were 8-1 at one point. I think they started the season 4-0, 5-0, something like that. Jonathan Taylor was I think the front runner for Offensive Player of the Year throughout the first 10 weeks of the season. So I think Jonathan Taylor is still a top 5-ish running back, at times top 3. Daniel Jones at least proved he's capable of being top 20, top 15 quarterback in the National Football League. And we saw it today. I know Michael Pittman Jr. had a kind of an off game, but the offensive line is pretty damn good. Tyler
Alex
Warren
Pierce is really good.
Yeah. Alex Pierce is another weapon emerge. I like Joshua Downs, and Tyler Warren is looking like a stud. So if you could just shore up the offensive line just a little bit, make it offensive line a little better, and then add some pieces on the defensive side. Sauce Gardner comes back fully healthy. I think the Colts have a chance to, replicate what we saw early in the season next year.
And last note on the Jaguars, they have joined. Here's a trivia because you knew I was going to ask you one. The 2025 Jaguars, they have joined which team as the only team in NFL history to win 13 plus games one season after losing 13 plus game season?
That's a tough one. Lose 13 the year prior and then flip it. Definitely not the Patriots.
Because you guys have never been that bad.
13 wins is a lot of wins. Can you please tell me how recent?
Not in the last 25 years.
Oh, so I'm gonna say the 70s Cowboys.
1999 Colts as the only team in NFL history to win 13 games after losing 13 games the last season.
That's not for nothing. My other guess would have been the 90s Cowboys.
Yeah.
After they,
go.
No, because I remember they missed the playoffs. I think they had 11 losses, and then the following year they signed Emmitt Smith and they won the Super Bowl.
That's wild. But to end the game on an 8-game winning streak, and they won those games by an average of 19 points per game. I know I keep harping on it, but people need to respect Liam Cohen. I know he kind of left Tampa in a shitty way, but this guy could coach. He gets the most out of his guys. So hell of a job by Liam Cohen and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I did want to give them their shine for today and just for the whole season because they had a hell of a year. Let's go to the next game and we will head to the G-Men. Jackson Dart He had himself a hell of a game. I did take him. I knew they were going to sit Dak and everyone. Joe Milton winded up coming in, but getting plus 3.5 at home. Jackson Dart had himself a really good game, 22 for 32, 230, 2 touchdowns. Tyrone Tracy ran for over 100 yards. Gunnar Olszewski had over 100 yards as well. I mean, there was no reason to play any of the guys. The season was over for the Dallas Cowboys, so you knew they weren't going to – they kind of like packed it in, but they have the 12th pick overall right now, and the Giants played themselves out of a top 2 pick, and right now they have the 5th overall pick.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I was on the Cowboys for one reason only. I would have never thought the New York Giants would purposely win back-to-back games to screw themselves from not just the first overall pick, but the top 4 picks. I'll be honest. What are you doing? If I'm a Giants fan, I'm pissed off. I understand Jackson Dart might be the guy in the future. I understand that part. But you have a chance at a 2nd, 3rd overall pick, and you just kissed it away. So I'm kind of shocked by that. Not kind of too surprised by the Cowboys, just milking it in, but kind of like if you're a Giants fan, like what you saw from Jackson Dart today. Tyrone Tracy had another big game running and catching the ball. Like you said, Gunnar Olszewski. I like the potential Jackson Dart has. That's what you could take away from today. Can Jackson Dart be the future of the New York Giants? I think it's still a question mark over that, but I'm gonna be honest, I like what I saw today from Jackson Dart. So give credit. To me, like I said, I'm shocked that they won back-to-back games to screw themselves out of the number 1 pick. They could have either drafted somebody or traded it away. But shout out the Giants for beating the Cowboys. Now the Cowboys got the 12th pick.
It was cool to see them give the game ball to John Mara, the owner, for everything that he's dealing with his health-wise. But, yeah, I mean, I have some Giant fans, even Joey's family's Giant fans calling him. Like, they can't even lose right. I mean, yeah, like, I'm no one to talk, but at least
like you had 2 games. You had 2 games. You won 2 games through 16 weeks of the NFL season. You ended the year 2-0. Only the Giants would do some dumb shit like that. Like you can't make this shit up. You had 2 wins heading into the last 2 weeks of the season. You ended the season to go 2-0 to lose the 1st overall pick. You could have set yourself up. You could have either drafted the best player in football who you think it is, right? Because he wasn't going quarterback. And if he was going quarterback, I guarantee you would have got a 1st round pick for Jackson Dart.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. I truly don't. So we'll see. We'll see. But Jackson Dart is going to be their quarterback of the future. That is for sure, for certain. Minnesota 9-8. They finished the season above their win total, over 8.5. And Max Brosmer, came in. JJ hurt his hand again. Ever since he played the Giants, and I forgot who hit him in the hand. It really fucked his hand up.
It's fractured. For a lot of NFL people fractured the hand this year. Rodgers, Justin Herbert, JJ.
We knew. I mean, we laid the 9.5, 10.5, whatever you're able to get. We laid it. I mean, Clayton Tune was the quarterback. Obviously, Matt LaFleur, he wasn't going to do anything. They're already clinched. They really couldn't move up or move down. They sat all their guys. So really nothing to take away from the game. But shout out Justin Jefferson, over 100 yards. He did hit 1,000 yards this season. So shout out JJ.
Yeah, shout out Jettas. I think this is the first time in like 6 weeks he went over 50, 60 yards receiving. So that was good to see. We all know what he's capable of doing. Shout out Brian Flores. Shout out Kevin O'Connell, going over the season win total, winning 9 games. I understand you didn't have a shot in the playoffs, but you ended this year strong. And if I'm a Vikings fan, that's what you want to see.
You know who I was really happy for, man? Myles Garrett. I was so happy. I was at a bar with Sophia, and I stood up. I clapped, and was like, what happened in the game? I was like, you just broke the single season sack record. Like, do you watch football, bro?
History.
He was like, yeah. I was like, this is history. And he was like, oh, who did he pass? I go, another Hall of Famer, Michael Strahan, and a guy who's going to be in Canton as well, and TJ Watt. Wow. They're all Hall of Famers. But yeah, I was so happy for him. Shout out Joe Burrow for allowing the sack as well.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say he tried to avoid it much. That's all I'm gonna say. And not for the questionable. If put it like this, if the refs wanted to throw a offsides on
they
it,
could have.
they could have. That's all I'm gonna say.
But I'm glad
Miles
they did
Garrett. Yeah. All I'm gonna say is they could have, and I would have not been mad at it. But we saw, we saw the trajectory.
I'm telling you, Shador, baby, another win.
Dill,
watch out. That's 5 wins now.
Dill, first of all, the flip flop it's outrageous. For our loyal listeners, Dylan just put his wrist up and talking about Shador. What happened to the poll, Dill? You were standing on this.
Is that a lot?
I know, but now you might disagree with the poll. So, what we saw from Myles Garrett was a hell of a season. I think he proved he's the best defensive player in football. I think he should be minus 2,500 for defensive player of the year. I don't think it should be even close.
He is 2,000. Yeah, he's winning the defensive player.
Yeah, minus 2,500 was all right. Yeah, to be, and he deserves to be so. So I think there's no doubt Myles Garrett's the best defensive player in football. Now it's going to be interesting moving forward. He got the accolades. He's probably going to be an all-decade player. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Now, does he go somewhere and chase a ring? Because, how many years does he have left? We all know Myles Garrett. He probably has, I'm going to say at least 5, maybe 6 more years. But how many of these, 15-plus sack seasons he have left? Does he want to waste those, maybe 2, 3, 4 seasons in Cleveland? I'm not sure. So, shout out Myles Garrett. Hell of a record. It took, 20 something? No, 40 years. No, 20 years. 20-something years since Strahan broke it. Shout out TJ. He was able to tie it. Not for nothing. Great win from Shador Sanders. Wasn't that all impressive, but it wasn't. It's not like he played bad. Didn't play great, but he didn't play bad. And shout out the kicker for the walk-off win.
Yeah. I mean, 6 sacks. It was tough to see Joe Burrow go down with a loss his last game, but couldn't be happier for Myles Garrett, if I'm being honest. Did you hear Kevin Stefanski after the game, though? He was just like, I don't know why they stopped the game for this. They were like, we were trying to get our momentum building. Relax. You have nothing to play for.
You got nothing to play for. Kevin, you're out. I like Kevin, not for nothing. I think he's a hell of a coach, but I think it's time.
What did I think it's Kevin O'Connell?
Yeah. No, you said Stefanski. Yeah, you said Stefanski.
Yeah.
I think Stefanski's time is coming to an end for the Cleveland. In Cleveland,
yeah. What else do we have? Oh, Saints. We didn't even talk about that. Saints 17, Atlanta Falcons 19. Kirk Cousins gets it done. Who would have thought Kyle Pitts, all he needed was Kirk Cousins in his life? I mean, led the team in receptions this year for the Atlanta Falcons. That kid, James Pierce Jr., is a fucking stud. I mean, who they were able to get on defense, James Pierce and the other guy out of Georgia, he wound up getting hurt, but James Pierce out of Tennessee, the first-round pick, I think he had 10.5 sacks. I think that was like top 15 in the league as a rookie. So he is really good. Tyler Shuck is really good. We talked about it already. 23 for 35. We hit the over on his 221.5 passing yards. But even with Chris Olave, they hung in the game. But 6 wins for Tyler Shuck, 6-11. No one thought this team was going to win that many games. I didn't, at least.
Yeah, I think Kellen Moore, not for nothing. I understand 6-11 is not, something you want to hang your hat on, but a first-year NFL head coach, rookie quarterback, let's just say a mediocre roster, I think he did a pretty damn good job. And for the other side, Atlanta, 3-way tie for the division. I'm not sure if Raheem Morris, I personally don't love Raheem Morris as the Falcons head coach, but I think he did enough to keep his job, Dale. I think he finished the season winning 4 out of the last 5 games. Kirk Cousins might have played himself to another starting role in Atlanta next year. We'll see. He's still under contract. I don't know if Michael Penix Jr. is the future or the answer. They got some pieces. It's going to be interesting to do what they do with Kyle Pitts, because after this season, I think he's due for a major payday. He might try to be one of the, if not the highest paid tight end in all of football. So give credit to Atlanta. I love the way they ended the season. I like the fact that Kirk Cousins was always a great teammate, never gave up, and when he needed to answer the call, though, he picked up the phones and delivered. So shout out Kirk Cousins. I don't love him, but give credit to Raheem Morris for honestly finishing the season pretty damn strong.
The Las Vegas Raiders are now on the clock. They locked up the number 1
Mendoza.
Seed. I don't know. I don't know what
you don't know.
I mean, he should go, but who knows what the fuck? The Raiders do crazy things sometimes.
Well, you think they'll trade it away?
Jets have a very big offer. Why not? Switch with the Jets. Who knows?
Yeah, the Jets have the what? The 4th?
The second pick.
Yeah, give them the second. Next year's first. Y'all can give them 3 first-round picks.
We're not doing that just to flip one. We'll give you the second. We'll give you a first and a second of next. Yeah, we got picks. Shout out the Colts. We have another first round pick
No, y'all got 2 this year, 2 next year.
We got 3 next year. We got number 15. Shout out the Colts for losing.
And you got the Cowboys.
Yeah. But shout out Aiden O'Connell. They win. They beat the Chiefs as 5.5 point underdogs. I took them plus 5.5. I told Joe.
Kenny Pickett.
What did I say? No, Aiden O'Connell came in.
Oh, he came in. Oh, Kenny Pickett started. My fault.
But he went 1 for 4 and they benched him. He had 3 yards.
I tried to tell you he's not it. I told you he's not.
I knew he wasn't it. It was a bit. But Aiden O'Connell is a legit backup. He could play in the NFL. It was good to see Ashawn Gentry have a pretty good game as well. Michael Mayer had a good game. They shut down Brock Bowers, but it was nice to see Pete Carroll and the boys end the season with a win. And they got the number 1 pick.
Yeah, and they got the number 1 pick. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do. We already heard reports or rumors, whatever you want to call them, about Max Crosby possibly last season as a Las Vegas Raider. They could possibly add another, maybe second round pick, maybe a first round pick. Who knows? I don't know if there's a team that's willing to give up a first for Max, but there might be. So I think the Raiders definitely needs to draft a quarterback. It's just will the Raiders do Raiders things and possibly trade away the first round pick? I doubt it. If I'm the Raiders, I'm drafting Mendoza today. If I'm the Raiders, I'm gonna try to talk to Mendoza. Nah, he's gonna play, but joking around, but you don't need to play in the college playoffs, buddy. You're a Raider for life. If I'm the Raiders, that's what I'm doing. So, shout out Gentry. I think he finished the season strong. Don't get me wrong. Did he play to number 6 expectations? I'm gonna say no, but I like him. Give credit to the Raiders, but I think Pete Carroll, he might be gone. Terrible season this year, but if they decides to keep him, by all means. And on the opposite side, I just want to congratulate Travis Kelce on a tremendous career. I think he's going to go down as a top 3, if not. Some people might consider him the greatest tight end of all time. Yeah, I think he finished his career with 13,000 receiving yards. I think he's only the 3rd player in NFL history. I think Antonio Gates and Tony Gonzalez, the only other 2 tight ends to have 13,000 or more receiving yards. So shout out Travis Kelce. Hell of a career and definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah. First ballot Hall of Famer. Go get married. Go live your life. Have the podcast. He's done. There's no point in coming back. We don't know what the future holds for Kansas City. We don't know what Big Red's going to do. Patrick Mahomes, he said he wants to play week 1. We'll see how that goes. But
shout out Phil in the chat. Drake May MVP. Shout out Phil. He's a legend.
Yeah, no, what did he say? Just to say Drake May. Yeah, we know Phil. Drake May is going to be the MVP. We're not there just yet. We are Denver Bronco locking up the number 1 seed. Shout out Trey Lance, the ladder for the rushing prop. 9 carries for 69 yards. We cashed there with the teaser as well, but they needed to win this game. Bo Nix, No, I got again, not the best, but I say this all the time. Sean Payton doesn't give away his A game plan to teams like this. Now the AFC will run through Denver, so we'll see.
Well, we'll see.
They locked up the number 1 seed, and for the Chargers, they locked up the number 7 seed.
Yeah. One thing I can honestly say about the Denver Broncos, I forgot who said it earlier, but I 100% agree with them. I don't know if it was Dan Orlovsky or Alex Smith. I think it was Alex Smith. The Denver Broncos is the least dominating number 1 seed, I think, in recent history. If I'm going into Denver, I'm not fearful. I think Denver definitely played a hell of a year. Still, they have 12 come from behind wins.
I know. Usually, I know. You flirting with danger.
You're flirting with danger. They've been flirting with danger all season long. I don't think you're going to be able to come back from behind multiple times this postseason. So, give credit to Denver. Give credit to Sean Payton, Bo Nix, and company. Let's not forget, people, they were my dark horse to win the AFC and Super Bowl preseason. So, as of right now, I look pretty damn good. I said Denver Broncos, but I'm not confident that they will put it this. I highly doubt the AFC will have to run through Denver. I think Denver will lose in the division round against, a pretty good team like maybe the Buffalo Bills, maybe the Houston Texans, maybe the Los Angeles Chargers. Who knows? But I think a team like that will take down the Denver Broncos. I like them. The future looks very bright, but there's no doubt they're honestly one of the least scariest number 1 seed in I think in our lifetimes.
This is the first time Denver has the number 1 seed since 2015.
Shout out Peyton Manning. That was an elite team.
That was the last time they won the Super Bowl as well.
Yeah.
So Phil said it's the hardest year to pick coach of the year. Who do you boys got? I mean, it has to be. I'm gonna be honest. Has to be Mike Vrabel. It's fucking disgusting, but
I'm a Patriots fan, and I'm gonna be honest. I will give my ticket to McDonald in Seattle, man. What he was able to accomplish with Sammy D. Let's not forget, he came in. His quarterback is gone, Geno Smith. Your number 1 receiver in DK Metcalf is gone. So you can make the case your most viable offensive weapons are out of the picture. You bring in a new quarterback. You need Jackson Smith and Jigba to step up. And Dill, you're not just contend for the division. You win the division, you win the number 1 seed, and you're tied with the best record in football. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's Mike McDonald. Look around. I won't be upset at one bit if Mike Vrabel wins it, just because I think we all had a feeling Seattle were a pretty good team. I don't think even me. I didn't think Patriots are going to be this good. Patriots are live to win the Super Bowl. Drake May is the favorite to win the MVP. So if you ask me, Mike Vrabel is a hell of a pick. But if I had to vote, I will go with McDonald, and that's coming from a Patriots fan.
And Phil's agree. I have a Liam Cohen ticket for Coach of the Year. So, I mean, he deserves credit. I don't think he should be 25-1.
Yeah, I think Liam Cohen deserves a lot of credit. And if there was a coordinator award, I'll be the first one to say Josh McDaniels is coordinator of the year. What Josh McDaniels was able to do for Drake May in this offense, it was night and day what we had last year. Night and day.
Shout out to Buffalo Bills getting the win 35-8. I mean, that was the easiest pick, -10, -11. It didn't matter. Alternate. The Jets are incapable of winning. We lock up the number 2 seed. And we're on the clock. I mean, we're hopefully we get Mendoza, but Mitchell Trubisky lit us up. 22 for 29, 259, 4 touchdowns. Ray Davis went for 150 as well. Shout out them and the Buffalo Bills. They do lock up the number 6 seed.
I'm gonna be honest, though. I understand you was rooting for a second overall pick today, but what we saw from the Jets defense these last 4 or 5 games, ever since Trevor Lawrence
it's bad.
No, I understand, Dill, but it's not even close to how bad you guys are.
There are guys on the defense that I can't even name. It's that bad.
But the last 5, ever since Trevor Lawrence scored 6 touchdowns on y'all, y'all been having one of the worst, I think, 4 to 5 week defensive stretch in NFL history. Not for nothing. Shout out the Buffalo Bills, winning a game, destroying the Jets. Josh Allen, he took one snap to continue his start streak, which is pretty cool. Shout out Ty Johnson. He had a couple touchdowns. It's gonna be interesting to see. Buffalo is gonna have to go to who Buffalo. I think they're gonna play Jacksonville in Jacksonville, so that's gonna be a hell of a game.
Yeah, Bills at Jacksonville, Chargers at Patriots, and then the Texans will either go to Pittsburgh or the Baltimore. That's the AFC picture. And then the NFC, Packers are going to the Bears, 49ers are going to the Link to play the Eagles, and the Rams are going to Carolina to play the Panthers. Seattle gets the bye.
I like it. I can't wait. I can't wait.
I can't wait either. Phil, by the way, I am in Rhode Island as we speak. So I'm in Rhode Island, kid, and I'm always on the move. By the way, the Wi-Fi good? We're good.
It lagged in the beginning, but I'm gonna be honest, it's been pretty crisp. I'm not going
It's
front.
been money. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, we got a few more games in the afternoon slate. Lions, they walk it off on a game-winning field goal to beat the Bears. It doesn't matter because the Bears winded up locking the 2 seed because Philadelphia lost, so it didn't matter. But yeah, I wish we saw this kind of offense and this kind of defense from the Detroit Lions down the stretch, and maybe we could have seen them in January, but they wind up missing the playoffs. Bears wind up winning the division, and to be honest, they were asleep for most of the first half. They scored 0 points. They scored all 16 points in the fourth quarter. Does that worry you going into the playoffs?
The only reason it really worries me any type of way is just because the offense struggled. It's one thing. I understand it's a divisional opponent, divisional rivalry. Ben Johnson against his former team. But the fact that in the first half, you were doing nothing, the running game was non-existent. Caleb Williams didn't look good. That's the concerning part. If you was able to establish some type of rhythm, and then let's just say you go on at fourth down, you don't get there, you miss your field goal. Okay, that's one thing. But not able to get multiple first down, not able to establish any type of rhythm, not able to establish the running game right before the playoffs, that's a little concerning. So if I'm Chicago, hell of a season right now. The defense led the NFL in turnovers, so that was good. But if I'm a Chicago Bears fan, I did not like the effort I saw from my team this week. I understand you're hosting a playoff game. You did win the NFC North, so shout out, yeah. But there's going to be a playoff team coming in next week. There's going to be somebody that's going to most likely.
It's the Packers.
Wow. That's a game.
Can you guess the line without looking?
I'm going to say Chicago's favorite. I'm going to say Chicago -1.5.
Oh, you are a sharp -1.5. The Bears -110 on the money line. That's a hell of a game. That one in the Jacksonville are both 1.5 spreads. The Bills are favored on the road in Jacksonville -1.5.
Yeah, and not for nothing. Look how poorly the offense looked today. I understand they showed up in the fourth quarter. For 3 quarters, it looked horrible. You know who didn't take a snap at all today? Jordan Love.
Allen. Oh,
Jordan Love
too.
Josh
but
Jacobs.
He hasn't played for about like 3 weeks now.
I know he had the concussion deal, but at the end of the day, I'd rather have my quarterback take a day off than struggle for 3.5 quarters.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Rams 37, Cardinals 20. It's cool. Jacoby Brissett's cool, but Michael Wilson, he's really emerged. I mean, what a down year.
I'm not for none. He's pretty good. Michael Wilson, Trey McBride.
Yeah, he's the best tight end in the league. But my thing is, like, Michael Wilson, because Marvin Harrison Jr. really, it was a bad year for him. I mean, obviously he was dealing with injuries, but Michael Wilson really stepped up. 99 yards, 5 catches, a touchdown. And the Rams, they locked up the number 5 seed, so they are on the road to play the Panthers, and they're 10.5-point favorites. It's the largest spread of the weekend for the playoffs.
Damn.
I think that's a little crazy if I'm being honest. 10.5.
10.5.
They lost outright last time.
Yeah, but 10.5 is a little crazy.
I agree.
10.5 is a little crazy.
I'm taking the point to Carolina.
They were 9.5-point dogs last time. 10.5. I think we got to take the points. Just sorry to look ahead, but
no, we
saw it. I think excuse me. I think it's tough for any team, especially on the West Coast, to fly in on the East Coast and then show up on that day. And if I'm the Rams, I'm trying to fly in Wednesday night, Thursday morning, be there for a couple of days because we saw how flat they came out last time. Matthew Stafford didn't look that good. Multiple interceptions that day. And not for nothing, I think Carolina at least proven throughout the season they're live against anybody at home. I understand they finished 8-9 people. They're not that impressive. If honestly, they might be the worst team in the playoffs with all due respect. But they just beat this Rams team a couple weeks ago in Carolina. And we saw multiple seasons. At one point, Carolina was undefeated at home this year. So don't get me wrong, 10.5 points is too much. But I'll probably be taking the points.
I agree. I think it's last, or I think it's a little too much. And the best for last, I saved your Patriots. I locked them up. You weren't here last show. Minus 10.5. It didn't matter. They get the win. Drake May, 14 for 18, 191 yards, took care of the ball, did not get a sack. Joshua Dobbs came in. Ramondre Stevenson. I know we were talking about Travion Henderson, and that's my boy from Ohio State, but there is, I think, a very interesting conversation, not just moving forward, but even a conversation for next year. In your opinion, who gets RB1? I have an answer. I want to hear what the Patriot fan has to say.
I'm going with Travion Henderson. I think Ramondre Stevenson is a hell of a back. He's still under contract. We paid him for his services. We know what he's capable of doing, but I think Travion Henderson has shown he's definitely ready to be RB1. I think Stevenson been playing great these past few weeks this season. And not for nothing, he's more the dual threat. He could catch the ball as well as he could run it. But let's not forget, Dill, I've been a Patriots fan for a long time, not just recently. Ramondre Stevenson had fumbling issues early on this year. Last year, we saw it the last game against the Raiders. He cost us that game. So I like Stevenson a lot, but I think I'm ready for Stevenson to be the RB1 of the future.
That was my thing. I like the kid. You drafted him. He's shown you really good signs, but Ramondre Stevenson fumbles a little too much for my liking. Yeah, he came on late in the season, but it was against not the best competition. So, yeah, I agree. I think you got to stick with Ramondre Stevenson. It's a nice 1-2 punch, though. It's good when Travion
It's a top
Henderson
10 rushing attack, honestly, with Drake May. Drake May had over 400 yards rushing, Dill. No bullshit. Look at the season's over now, right?
Yeah.
Look at the teams that were. I guarantee we were a top 10 rushing team. Guaranteed.
I gotta look at it because I'm holding my.
Drake May had over 400.
No, let me look at Drake May.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he had over 400 yards.
I don't doubt you. That is
Stevenson
the MVP of the league.
Probably had like 600-700. I think Henderson had over 500.
I gotta ask you while I'm looking up this thing now. Drake May, 4,203 yards, 30 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, QBR number 1 in the league.
I tell you this, as of right now,
409 yards.
Yeah, I know.
Now, does going into the postseason, now you don't have a bye, but going into the postseason with Christian Barman, and Stephon Diggs. Now, we do live in the greatest country in the world, and you are innocent until proven guilty. But that does suck that it's like a little noise, and it sucks that it happened like months ago and that it's being brought up now. Even as like a Jet fan, I think that's kind of annoying. But does it affect the locker room? What do you think moving forward? I think it needs to be asked.
Honestly, this is my take on any of these things. When a crime happens, or alleged crime happens, like for example, if Dylan smacks me across my face, not saying I will, but if Dylan smacks me across the face right now, I'm gonna call the authorities and have Dylan arrested for assault today, not 2 months from now, while I'm trying to extort Dylan for amount of money, so I don't call the cops on him. But when I'm officially, when I realize he's not going to give me the amount of money I want, that's when I'm gonna report the incident. Anytime that occurs, I'm not saying if it happened or it didn't happen. Anytime that happens, it doesn't look good on the other party, in my opinion. So if whatever Stefan and Baymore allegedly did, if they honestly did it, why wasn't the crime reported day of? That's my thing. So I understand it just came out right after Christmas, a week before the season ends, after an amazing season for the New England Patriots. To me, it's just a little stain on the wall. I ain't really too serious. We saw them on the field today. Stephon Diggs, I think he had 40 receiving yards. Baymore, I think, had a couple pressures. I'm not sure if he had a sack. Milton Williams had a sack, so that was good to see. Will Campbell came back. That was nice to see. So overall, I think it's just outside noise. And like you said, innocents are proven guilty. And I think come in a couple of months, I think both men will be innocent.
Yeah, they're going to – I like to let the facts play out before anybody makes judgments. So they'll have their day in court, which everyone in this great country is allowed. So
all I'm saying is if somebody did something to you, report a day of, not 3 months later. Doesn't look good on your part.
I agree 100%. But yeah, we get there with the lock. Patriots. Dog doesn't get there with the Panthers. Teaser doesn't get there because the Bengals lost. But Prop gets there as well. So 2-2 overall, a really good weekend though. Week 18. How did your bets do?
Lock is still live. I got Steelers plus 3.5. As of right now, they're 4.5. So the lock is at that 4.5 with the Steelers. Dog 49ers. They came out flat. I think, in my opinion, the reason I was on the 49ers, to me, they're to close the season, in my opinion, they've been the most impressive team in football over the last 3-4 weeks of the season. In my eyes, I was surprised how flat they looked. And then my teaser, we didn't get there. I'm pretty sure did the
Eagles
Chiefs
lost
win?
outright.
Oh yeah, everybody lost outright.
Yeah.
Kind of hard. That's why I didn't do a 3-leg, because I was like, who is gonna finish the game? Jalen Hurts didn't even take a snap, so that was my fault on the teaser. And then the player prop, I think Mike Evans went under. So horrible week this week. But shout out Mike Evans.
Shout out Mike Evans. All right, kid. Before we get to FCS, a quick word from our sponsor, brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. It's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or watching Ravens Steelers, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, kid, let's get to it. FCS championship tomorrow night. No more Monday night games, but we do have some football, which is good to see. Montana State taking on the Cinderella story in Illinois State. Montana State just beat Montana. Illinois beat Villanova in the semifinals as well. So Illinois State, I mean, they've been on a Cinderella run. They've been underdogs in every game. I've been cashing them. Now, Montana State is a wagon, especially in the fourth quarter. They score a lot of points. They've outscored their opponents by like 60 or 70 points in the fourth quarter. I like the over. I think 57, the total's at 57.5. I do think we'll see some points here, but I think a 35-27 type of game. I think Montana State wins, but I think Illinois State covers the number. So I'm going to take the Illinois State Redbirds at 10.5. I do think Montana State wins the game, though. I also like the over. I think we'll see some points. So yeah, those are my plays. I know you really don't watch FCS like that, but any opinion? I know Joey's on Illinois State money line.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the plus 10.5. Like you said, I'm gonna ride with the Cinderella team. They've been dogs all throughout. And look, they made it to the championship. So I'm gonna take the plus 10.5. I think they'll make things interesting. I don't know if they'll win straight up plus 300 but give me the 10.5 at minus 122.
I love it. All right, kid, let's get to the NBA. We do have 8 games on the slate. Shout out the Nets. They beat the Nuggets tonight. I don't know if you saw that. 11 wins now. What are we, 6, 7 away from the win total?
Just a couple. I think 7. Yeah, I think 7 wins away from the win total.
What do we like here?
Let's start off. Your New York Knicks lost 2 straight games over the weekend, Friday and Saturday night at home. Now going on the road against the Detroit Pistons. Still, I'm sorry. Give me the Pistons at home. Give me the plus 2.5. I think things will be close. Nothing. I think the Detroit Pistons are live plus 120 on the money line. Give me the Pistons at home. Next game, Atlanta Hawks taking on the Toronto Raptors. Raptors laying 3.5. I'll probably lead the 3.5 here. Don't get me wrong. I think Atlanta's been playing better as of late. We just saw them take care of the Nets, honestly, in New York. But the Raptors are a solid team. I'm gonna go with the Raptors. Chicago Bulls taking on the Boston Celtics. This one, I'm gonna just stay away. Don't get me wrong. Celtics has been a wagon as of late. Not from the Jaylen Brown has been balling. I will look at his player as his point total because he just had a 50-point game, tied his career high, and he had a hell of a month. I think he averaged 32 points in the month of December. So I will definitely look at Jaylen Brown's over under point total. Thunder, Charlotte. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna touch it. Laying 16.5 points. Lay it if you want to. Take the 16.5 if you want to. I'm going to just stay away. Suns taking on the Houston Rockets. To me, this is going to be a great matchup. Dylan Brooks' revenge spot. Give me the plus 7.5 with the Phoenix Suns. I think they'll be able to make things close and interesting. I don't know if they're alive outright at plus 225, but I like it. I think it'll be a good game. Give me the plus 7.5 with the Suns. Utah Jazz taking on the Portland Trailblazers. Now, for none, I will tease the Jazz up to double digits. If you get the Jazz to like 11.5, that would be great. I wouldn't take the plus 5.5. And to me, one of the better games, Los Angeles Clippers taking on the Golden State Warriors. Still, don't look too fast. Clippers been playing good. Kawhi Leonard has been balling. I think Kawhi Leonard had at least shown people when healthy, he's still a top 10 player. Kawhi Leonard has been playing out of his mind, Dill. If Kawhi plays, give me the Los Angeles Clippers minus 116 on the money line. Yeah, that's all, Dill. Those are all my plays for Monday.
Do you have a prop?
Yeah. As of right now, there's not a lot of props available, but there's one, Dill. Luka Doncic, his over-unders at 34.5. I'm gonna go with the under. What?
You go. No, you could go.
Oh, I'm gonna go with the under 34.5 at plus 100. I don't know if it's the plus 100 that's screaming at me, but to score 35, not for nothing. I know Memphis is solid. Jared Jackson is a great hell of a defensive player. I think Luka will be held to under 35. They'll give me under 34.5 at plus 100.
By the way, you could get that prop. You go over to Props.Cash. Elvis and I have been using it for about 2 years now. Really good app. You go on the website as well. You can get quick visual data on player trends, matchup history, and recent performance across every major sports. I mean, we're going to start diving into NHL and NBA as the NFL winds down. So plans start at just $19.99 a month. And right now, you can get 25% off your first month with code DREAM25. It's on the screen. It says DREAM25. So download the app right now. Sign up with the monthly subscription. Use our code DREAM25, and you'll be paying just $14.99 your first month. Kid, thank you so much. It was good to get you back on the pod. Yeah, I don't know if you'll be here on Wednesday, but if not, we got college coming up, and then we got Super Wild Card weekend. Kid, if not, just text me your plays. I always shout them out on the show with us. But hey, keep working hard. Any last words before we get up out of here?
As of right now, I just want to give out a future to end the season. everybody knows I'm a Patriots fan. I'm a huge Patriots fan. I've been advocating Drake May's the NFL MVP, but I wouldn't be, considered, let's just say, credible if I wasn't fair. As of right now, Drake May. Hold on, let me pull it up exactly, because shit be changing every fucking minute. So sorry for cursing.
Yeah,
before
right
the
now,
game
Matthew
ended,
Stafford minus 130.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford just an hour ago was plus 300 to win the MVP. I'm gonna be honest, for our listeners out there, if you can, I think there's no way Matthew Stafford is not the MVP. Look what he's done at the age of 38 years old. He had a hell of a season. I think Drake May, you can make the case he is the MVP, but the man is 23 years old. I think the voters are gonna give it to Matthew Stafford at this late stage of his NFL career, where he was able to do with the Rams. I understand he didn't win the division. I understand he's not the 1 or 2 seed, but I think the award will go to him. So if you can, at minus 130, I think that's a hell of a number. Give me Matthew Stafford, minus 130 NFL MVP.
And that is coming from a New England Patriot fan. Wow. Cannot wait. We'll see how it all plays out. But good luck. Enjoy the games. Take care of yourself and each other. And we'll see you guys down the road. Peace.